Yeah, so before we went for the break, we were just wondering how come no Indians are interested in funding these kind of projects, and it's only always the Westerners. Some years ago, you were telling me about somebody from England. Who now? Let's go back into that.
The US, the US.
No, there's somebody else from England who
Oh
came.
yeah, Sandra Rhodes, for instance. She was a designer.
Yes.
And she made saris popular on the ramp. And I think after she did that, everyone from the Desi industry, the designers, Rohit Bal types, actually took to saris. And right
Okay.
now that's the money spinner for them, designer saris.
Okay.
But again, we have a problem with designer saris because it doesn't really benefit your weaver.
Okay.
It's not woven.
I mean,
It's just patchwork.
I see.
You know, it's stuff like that.
It's not printed and.
No, it's not done the traditional way.
Okay, so what are the bits and pieces of cloth stitched together?
Yeah, they kind of stick this, stick that, and make very.
So it's an
different
ensemble
kind of-
thingy,
yeah.
rather than one strip of 6 meter long
Right.
sari as it was.
Yes.
So and now people aren't doing research on saris and developing new designs. I see them all the time advertising something or the other. Some new stuff has come by.
Yes, but then is it hand woven? And hand woven this is a dying art because the generation is dying out. Once this generation is gone, the next one, people just won't bother teaching their kids. They'll say, do something else, become a software
Start
guy.
making money.
Start making money. But this is.
I mean, sari making is not making money. Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
It's not. See, it's time consuming for one. People want instant stuff. Give me, in a week's
But they
time.
price it like that. You can get. I think you can go to an ordinary store and pick up a sari for 200 rupees or something.
Yeah.
Cotton,
That
machine made,
Yes.
and then a handmade thing for 50,000 rupees. So isn't that enough motivation?
It's motivation, but that's not enough. It's a very, very small audience there. I mean, the customer base.
Okay.
That will not do. That will not do at all. And
So it sounds like you're fated to.
200 rupees sari, printed stuff, whatever. The quality just doesn't last, and nobody is picking those up.
Okay.
And that's not really where we would like people to go. I think we need to encourage the weaver.
So
The actual
in all
getting
moments
it.
of distress, finally everybody goes to the government.
It goes
and
to the
says, Sarkar, kuch karo. So did you go to the Sarkar?
The Sarkar, of course, you have all these craft councils, you have all these different
The big budgets too.
They do, but then it just doesn't trickle down to the common man. People should have access to them. It shouldn't be too expensive, and it shouldn't be too cheap either.
Okay.
Try to strike a balance.
So why aren't these caste council and these well-meaning efforts from the government bearing fruit? I mean, what stops them?
I don't know. I've seen various exhibitions being held all over the country, for instance.
Maybe it's the marketing and the endorsement is not good enough.
Probably the way it's marketed. I think the cinema, for instance, is a very good indicator. I mean, there's some style picking up there. It really, the sales go up.
Yes.
Somebody like maybe like Vidya Balan, for instance. I mean, she kind of is making saris popular back.
Yes, she
bringing
wears
it back.
them all quite often.
She
Yeah,
wears
true.
them all the time, and one particular designer, for instance, benefits. For instance, so the
Okay.
problem is, but it's not a, let's see whether people like that.
But you can't
come
do
to the fore.
jabardasti on people and say, now all of you get back into saris, and they're saying, no, we're working in an IT thing, and run for the bus,
Yeah.
and all that. How the hell do we do it with this?
I don't know.
ungainly.
Bhutan has this law, no, that only traditional clothes allowed.
I know.
You just have to wear that.
I know. But do we need to straitjacket our people like that? Say, you better wear only saris or else?
I think we should make it cool. We should make it appealing. That is
that's
extremely
a totally
important.
different approach.
Yeah.
Make it
We-
cool, yeah.
Make it appealing to the young. It's not just a costume. It's something that it's like you're carrying your Indianness in a very profound way.
How about the NRIs?
NRIs contribute, yes. They have the money power, but then again, it's just very occasional. You have these huge occasions, a wedding or some other function.
Diwali.
Or Diwali. And then
So
you
once in a year, use is not enough.
once in a year, no, I don't think
So
so.
how else can they do it? Then it'll be they'll look like
But
I
people
don't
were
know.
wearing. My mother, for instance, went to Germany in the 70s, and she was wearing saris all the time. And Indians were known for that. I mean, they were wearing saris.
Yeah, but I guess that was because they're uncomfortable in wearing anything else. That was the Indianness. They were brought up like that. Today's kids are not like that.
Yeah, but she did wear her Western clothing as well. That there was a nice blend. But now it seems to be like we just don't know about our own culture. It's like a Japanese person saying, you know, I wear a kimono only during a wedding, and that's it. I don't know about it.
If I were to analyze in my own limited way what I hear from my wife, it's the entire problem with the sari is the blouse. There's nothing else. They're all willing to wear it, but they say, where are the tailors? Where are the people? Where is this?
Yeah.
Where is that? So find a way to beat that.
Yeah.
Then you might get saris back in, because that's one little critical part of the entire outfit which can't be bought off the shelf. It has to be individually made.
Yes, that's true.
And that's where your women are going to get slaughtered wearing saris.
Yeah,
You won't get
the
it.
tailors are actually dying out.
Yes.
Where are the tailoring outlets?
That's right.
Very, very few.
So why aren't they being encouraged to say, okay, that's where the bottleneck is in real
You mean
words.
the tailors?
Yes.
Yeah, you should tell them that, because it's so expensive. I mean, if I were to get a sari blouse made, the last time I got it made, it was 500 rupees.
What? Just for stitching?
For stitching.
Tailoring alone?
Yeah, the tailoring
And then the
alone.
material.
Yeah, and it was just okay kind of sari. I mean, it wasn't really very grand or anything.
So I
like
think you
that.
put your finger on the problem. That is the problem. Nobody want to go and hang around with the tailor, 10 visits, countless abuse.
Countless abuse,
And then
yeah,
get
I think we just don't want to give them the money. Maybe they are, as you're saying, if you start looking at them as artists,
Yes.
as somebody who's contributing, then that might be a
Yeah, because
solution.
it's so figure hugging. So everybody's strapped. For men, it's okay. You got a fat neck, you got a thin neck, you got this, that. They cater for all that. Slim cut, fat cut, and then they got the sizes 33,
Yeah.
34, 37, whatever, 40, 44.
Yeah.
We are done.
Yeah.
But in the case of women, it's not so. So
Yeah.
that's where your problem is. I guess those days you bullied all the tailors.
Yeah, but they were the only ones that we didn't have any ready-made clothing outlets at all. Nowadays, you have quite a few of them,
Okay.
and yeah, people, as I say, nobody has the patience. Instant gratification. Nobody wants to go there, give it, stitch, get it stitched. Takes
Yeah,
1
that's
week.
true.
Takes
So that's probably where the
14
resistance
days.
to saris is. So one last time we'll come around on the 4th episode, because I want to know about what you did for the other documentary we did with J. Krishnamurthy's philosophy.